Well, hey there, everybody. This fine Sunday evening across South Carolina, Georgia. Looking great out there. A pretty sunset, in fact. Let's go ahead straight over to the WTOC tower cam where you'll see that we've just had some cool pictures coming on in here. A nice cloud deck there looking out toward the sunset. A beautiful evening, a peaceful evening, and it's going to continue to be that way. But how about we get on in here with the latest on Tropical Depression Florence. Moving on out of here, the great news with this storm for folks over in North Carolina is that it has made its northern shift here. It's actually going to be moving into North Carolina again, except this, of course, would be in the western portion. So sustained winds down to 35 miles an hour, and it is picking up a little bit of forward speed as well. So what does this look like on satellite radar? Still pretty impressive there. A big cloud field with this, some drier air wrapping back in, kind of on the backside of this. It's going to add to a little bit of weakening, but still some very heavy rain bands. If you watched last night at this time, we were talking about these heavy rain bands still over coastal North Carolina. Well, they have shifted off to the west a little bit, and we are seeing some heavier rain getting close to the Charlotte area, and they're actually going to be dealing with flooding as well. Something else that maybe not so many people are talking about with this storm system is that they're still going to get a decent amount of rain here up in the mountains of Virginia, West Virginia, Tennessee, even going up toward Kentucky could have flooding issues there as well. Just, of course, not as bad as what we're seeing over in North Carolina. So a closer look shows where those heaviest bands are. But as you guys know, we have stayed pretty dry from the storm so far, and it's going to stay that way for tonight. I do think we have a little bit better chance of rain actually tomorrow as Florence goes away from us, and I'll show you guys that here in just a moment. Compared to yesterday, the wind gusts today lower by at least 10 miles an hour or so. Did have up to 22 miles an hour over in Claxton, Vidalia, 25 miles an hour. Hilton Head had a southerly gust of 25 earlier today, but that's nothing too crazy. Sustained wind now more like 10 to 15, even lower than that. I just walked outside for a few minutes. Relatively calm here over in the Savannah area, and there's some good news. But also driving around earlier, saw a lot more North Carolina plates than normal. Some folks heading back north, and unfortunately, they're going to be going back to a changed landscape. Heavy rain now over Myrtle Beach. Finally starting to get a break in the Wilmington area. Still a couple batches of heavy rain going toward the Jacksonville, North Carolina area, where there has been an estimated over 3 feet of rainfall. So a little bit more coming their way as these continue to swing up to the north, unfortunately. But here in the Low Country Coastal Empire, we're just about done talking about Florence. But how about looking at just some of those 2-day estimated rainfall totals, and you can just check those out. They actually max out here on the color tables offshore and going inland there, so these aren't even going to show up correctly, but it's just a ridiculous amount of area that got over 1.5 to 2 feet of rainfall. Again, I worry that some areas get well over 3 feet. Of course, not anything really compared to what Harvey did, but it's sad that we even have to talk about another storm like that just one hurricane season later. Earlier today, we did see about 32 mile an hour gust over in Myrtle Beach, up to 35. Charleston still close to 30, but here, Low Country and Coastal Empire, inland Georgia doing okay. So let's talk about what we can expect going forward. Now we're moving a little bit away from coverage of Florence. Hour by hour temperature as we go into the evening. We'll see those temperatures actually be a little bit warmer than what you expect. There's a lot of moisture in the air. Water has a high heat capacity. Really what that means is that the more water you have in the atmosphere, takes more energy for it to change your temperature one way or the other. So you have a lot more moisture. These temperatures aren't going to fall as easily. So when we're waking up in the morning, mid 70s, upper 70s as you get closer to the coast, even close to 80 degrees. And it is going to be a warm one tomorrow. We're not going to have as strong of a breeze to make it feel nice out. So looking like in the afternoon, a lot of us, especially inland, going to be feeling those lower 90s, and that's without the heat index value. But notice where you have a discoloration here on the hour by hour temperature map. What we're looking at is actually a little bit better chance of rain for more people on Monday than what we saw over the weekend. I know that might sound a little bit strange, but I'll explain it to you right now. So this is one of the latest models coming in showing that we're going to be pretty dry here overnight. Monday morning, it looks like we could have a few isolated showers, but this is where we could see some of those showers wrap back in. So you get the heat of the day mixed with still a little bit of that motion coming on up. We're going to see closer to the coast have the best chance of some of those showers. And yes, this is going to be when some folks heading home from schools and from work. And that continues into the evening until we kind of lose that energy. And we're used to this. This is what we're looking at. So a time frame really of around noon. I think it's going to peak more so from 3 to 5. Things will be calming down a little bit after that. Not expecting anything in the way of organized severe weather, but the potential is there for some heavy downpours, localized flooding from some of these heavier downpours as well. So something that we look at, we call it the PWATS, or precipitable water values, and they're relatively high for this time of the year. So lots of moisture for these showers, thunderstorms that develop to tap into that and create those downpours. So there's a little bit behind what I'm thinking for tomorrow. Going forward, a little bit similar there on our Tuesday as well, except I don't think it's going to be quite as damp on Tuesday. As I take you through Tuesday, there it looks like most of those showers are going to stay a little bit offshore. So now I'm glad that I'm able to talk about some stuff a little bit more so into the future as well. So it's great hearing from you guys. You guys are saying some nice things on here, and appreciate it. If you guys have any questions about the weather, of course, I'm definitely here to answer those for you as well. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave you here with this 7-day forecast so that I can then go and log on to Facebook if you guys are watching on Facebook, and then chat with you that way. It's a little bit easier than trying to go one by one on air. That's not the most time effective way to do this. So I do think that Monday, Tuesday have some pretty good rain chances coming our way. Going down a little bit for the end of the week. My thinking on this, we're going to have a little bit more high pressure come on in. Of course, you guys know high pressure subsidence, sinking air, harder for those showers and thunderstorms to get up there, tap into that moisture. So there will be some isolated showers coming around here for the end of the week. We're also watching a weak front that's going to slide on in here, and that's why you'll see the temperatures get knocked down just a little bit. And we're actually going to be above average here for the next couple of days as well. So leaving you guys on this 7-day forecast there, but Florence, tropical depression, continues to move away from us. Rain chance tomorrow afternoon. A downpour threat 3 to 5 in the afternoon, and that's your need to know forecast there. Of course, we're going to be on tonight on the news. It's going to be a little bit later just because of how scheduling worked today. Looks like closer to 11:37, 11:38 to be exact, whenever we're going to go on air. So not exactly at 11. If you guys are looking for that, might be past your bedtime, but we're going to be on just a little bit later if you're looking for us. If not, I look forward to chatting with you guys on Facebook here in just a few minutes.